guys, it's Brittany. So today's gonna be a popcorn chat video, and today we'll be talking about Jurassic Park 3. And Jurassic Park 3 came out July 8th, 2001. And of course, now this is also, I would say, it's still a good, but also I think okay Jurassic Park movie. And I know there's a lot of Jurassic Park fans who love Part 3, and that's good. I'm glad that those who absolutely love it, if it's your favorite, that's great. Although the first is my favorite, and it's directed by Joe Johnson, and of course we get Sam Neill back as Dr. Grant. And so yeah, he goes off to Isla Sorna to find the divorced couple's son. And so of course, pretty much what we see in the movie and how it unfolds, things get quite, a bit crazy, especially with, them running after, well, not them running after dinosaurs, because they're not the ones chasing them. They're being chased by the dinosaurs. But no, like I said, I still like Jurassic Park 3. I do. I just feel like it's probably not the best, but it still has. I think there are some moments where it's like, where it is good, but I feel like even though it's not quite the best Jurassic Park movie, I still like it, and I think it's at least still a decent Jurassic Park movie. And like I said, there are some things I like about it. There are just some things I don't like. Like, I don't know, I don't quite like the Velociraptor design. With the Velociraptors, like, and especially with the female Velociraptor. Of course, she looks nice, but she doesn't look intimidating. She doesn't, and not with the other raptors. They don't look it either. Especially, they don't look anything like from the first one. They don't. And what I don't like is not just the design. Even if they're how they look, but even with their eye pupil, because they have this small round pupil, and they don't have like a long slit down in the middle of their eye, because the first one has it, and so does the Lost World, but this one doesn't. And why? I don't know, but I don't quite like that. And plus, I don't like how with the character Amanda, how certain parts in the movie she just kept screaming a lot, and I'm like, okay, like, tone it down, like, just calm down. And I just felt like, yeah, there's probably too much screaming from her of certain parts. I do think maybe her reactions could have been maybe a bit different, but I think the one thing I probably don't mind of her screaming is when when Dr. Grant and Billy were I think untangling the parachute, and all of a sudden there's Ben's corpse, and it just falls, and it's right there, right in front of her face, and she's screaming like that. Like, now that, I would say, I don't blame her for screaming like that. Seeing Ben's corpse falling, and it just shows up right in front of her face. Like, that is horrible. Like, who wouldn't be screaming if that happened? So I actually don't blame her for screaming only for that part, but for certain parts of the rest of the movies, like, does it have to be screaming? And of course, I think with her screaming, it doesn't sound. I think the rest of it just didn't sound like a really terrified, no, terrified scream. Because you know how when you scream, or when you hear screaming in a movie, how each scream sounds different. Because not every scream's gonna sound like that the person is terrified or they're screaming bloody murder. Some screams can sound like they may be screaming, but it may not really sound like they're scared. Even though they may be scared, but their screaming just doesn't sound like it. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that her scream doesn't. Now, only the part where she's up Ben's corpse in front of her, yeah, she does sound completely scared, you know. So yeah, that I don't blame her for, but the other parts where she is screaming of something else, it just doesn't really sound like she's that scared. I don't know. That's just what it sounds like to me. um and yeah, this is also a movie that I did grow up watching. And another thing I don't like of Jurassic Park 3 is when the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex, and yes, we all know it's not Rexy from the first one, but this is a T-Rex that is on Isla Sorna, and just so happens that, the characters ran into the T-Rex, and then just when they ran, the T-Rex ran after them, but then there's the Spinosaurus right there, and of course that's when those two got into a fight. And what I didn't like was how, like, during the fight, that at some point the Spinosaurus got a hold of the T-Rex's neck and just snaps its neck. Like, that, I don't like anything of that at all. I don't like when I hear bones crack, especially when it comes to the neck part. Like, it's just so unnerving, it's so unsettling, and it really makes my stomach turn, because I just don't like it. I don't like seeing it happen. I don't like hearing the sound of it. I just don't like it at all. It's just horrible, whether if it's a dinosaur in this case, or whether if it's an animal, or if it happens to a human being in the movie. Just no, I don't like it. So yeah, I remember when I saw that quite young, I think that was the first time I saw anything like that, of the neck being cracked, especially seeing it from a dinosaur. And I remember my mouth dropped and I was sad. And I was just like, and yeah, I didn't know how, like, oh, like, I don't know, I just didn't know that somehow that dinosaur found another way to kill the T-Rex. And to me, that just seemed absurd, you know? So yeah, I think at that time when I saw it, I think I didn't like the Spinosaurus for that reason. But, I mean, other than that, the Spinosaurus is also another intimidating carnivore dinosaur that we see. And yeah, so somehow I think it was supposed to be like this new face, like this new dinosaur that's supposed to be more scary than the T-Rex. But no, I think in a way it's scary on its own, but I wouldn't say it's more scarier than the T-Rex though. Now the T-Rex though, I would say the T-Rex is scary in its own way, but not scary enough where I won't look at it. Because with a T-Rex, I can handle looking at a T-Rex even with its mouth open. But with a shark, no. And yes, I know Jurassic Park 3 has nothing to do with sharks, but still, I can handle looking at a T-Rex rather than a great white shark. just because their mouths are, well, not mouth, but their jaws are quite different, much wider when they open it, and to me it's more scary looking to look at rather than a T-Rex, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's just kind of like how I feel about it. But I would say what I do like is, well, the fact that Sam Neill is back, as Dr. Grant, and he's like on this new adventure along with, these characters and all that. And it's almost like he's the Velociraptor whisperer, because he understands, he understands them quite well. So, and there's this thing that Billy printed out. What was it? It was he called it something. It's like the Velociraptors, I think, vocals or something, or there's something in there where they, how they communicate. So, what is it? I'm trying to remember what he called it, but I don't remember at this point. But it was until he used it towards the end, to make it sound like he's calling for help, and that way they were able to get away from the Velociraptors. But then they didn't find out, even afterwards, that they were rescued. So it's like, that's good. Oh, another thing I don't like is that there was Barney in it, like, because you know how he's trying to call Ellie, but then her son picks up the phone, and then he's trying to tell him, like, like, take the phone to mommy, like, say it's the dinosaur man. now that's funny. That's funny. But what I don't like is, now of course I think it was funny that Charlie was trying to get the phone to his mom, but then he gets distracted by Barney, the purple dinosaur on TV. Now of course I know he's like just like a young kid, like, and he's distracted by Barney, and I know there are some kids that like Barney, but I never did. I never liked Barney as a young child. Like, it annoyed me. And it's not just the songs, but I felt like pretty much everything else just made me felt like, okay, what are you? I don't know. I feel like the way the show was done, I don't know. I'm not really talking about the show. This has nothing to do with that. But I'm just saying that even watching at the time, I never really felt like I was being treated like a mature kid, because I actually was. I was quite mature for my age, and I wasn't really into things that were like, that made me felt like a baby, like I didn't know any better, so I wasn't really into that kind of thing. But yeah, so with Barney, it was just like, oh no, not this. So to me, I would rather prefer Jurassic Park over Barney. So yeah, so I didn't like that either. Like, showing Barney on TV, and like, oh no. Like, I don't know, with me, I think I preferred real dinosaurs over that. So yeah, I didn't like how they put Barney on the TV. It, like, even within that small part of the scene, but still, it's like come on, like, he's in danger, But yeah, like I said, there's just some things I do like, some things I don't. And yeah, I don't like that the T-Rex was killed, and like I said, there are some things I do like. I do. And yeah, I think there's some things I have questions about, like that abandoned engine place? Like, why did they abandon it? Was it because after what happened in the Lost World, or was it because something went wrong, and maybe because when someone somehow brought the Spinosaurus to life somehow, that maybe things went wrong? Like, I don't know what happened. What's the story to that? I want to know, what happened. So yeah, and of course, I do like how it ends, and it did seem like Eric's parents, got together. So yeah, it was like, a good ending. Like I said, it is still a good, also a decent Jurassic Park movie, but it's certainly not my favorite, but I still like it. But let me know what you think of Jurassic Park 3, and what you think, what you like or don't like, and maybe things that could have been different, because I do think some things could have been different. I think there could have been some things added to the story that could have made it maybe a little bit more scary, just made it a little bit more suspenseful, and I think I probably would have really liked that, but somehow it didn't really went that way, and it just went somewhere else. But and even for those who love it and it's your favorite, hey, that's fine. Like, and I still like it, but yeah, I just think certain things could have been different, that could have been a little bit more intense, like I said, and just had a bit more suspense to it. I do think that would have done really well, but that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, now so far there hasn't been any thunder, but that doesn't mean there won't be later on, because right now we are actually having a thunderstorm. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, it says right here, okay, before I go. Come on. Okay, it says severe thunderstorm. Wait, at 7:40 p.m. this past that. Okay, and then until today at 8:45. Wow. So it does seem like we're gonna have a really big thunderstorm, and I wouldn't doubt it if it were to rain. But yeah, I actually love rain and thunder, so in case if there's more later on, I will tweet that. And I think I forgot to do this in my other videos, but to see more of this, from movie reviews, reactions, streams, and movie discussion videos, such as known as Popcorn Chat, then please subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think of Jurassic Park 3. Do you like it? Do you love it? Let me know. So yeah. So and yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, which will be in the description and below, then yeah, you will see updates on how the thunderstorm is going. And yeah, even earlier my light was flickering, but I'm just glad it hasn't went out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So leave a comment down below if you like or love Jurassic Park 3. So that's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.